Okay, let's talk about phrases and clauses. So, this first one, broken into thousands of pieces. This is a phrase, mainly because it does not have a subject doing a verb. There is no subject. Broken into thousands of pieces. What was broken into thousands of pieces? The second one, because she smiled at him, is a clause. Mainly because she is our subject, smiled is our verb. Now, this is a dependent clause, like we talked about before, because it starts with a subordinating conjunction, that because. It can't stand on its own. You're waiting for whatever caused the because. I despise shopping malls. This is a clause. We have our subject, I, and we have our verb, despise. So it makes it a clause. And this is actually an independent clause because this could stand all by itself in a sentence. After the devastation, this is a phrase. There is no subject, verb in conjunction with each other. So we don't know what after the devastation. It's not complete. We don't have two sets of things. Between ignorance and intelligence, that again is a phrase because we don't know what is between ignorance and intelligence. There's something missing there. The next one, as quickly as possible, is a phrase. As quickly as possible does not have both a subject and a verb. And mainly, we're just looking for whatever is going on. What is going as quickly as possible? This car is not working. It's a clause, and it's an independent clause because it tells the whole story. Our subject, car, and our verb is kind of hidden because there's a contraction. Car apostrophe S means car is not working, okay? Is working is your verb. Now, until she finds a car is also a clause. She is our subject, finds is our verb, and it's a dependent clause. We're waiting for something to come. Until is the big indicator there. It's a dependent clause because it cannot stand alone as a sentence. Now, inside a deep dark well, that's a phrase. It doesn't have both a subject and a verb. Inside a deep dark well, we don't know what is inside the deep dark well. If they want to talk to me is a clause. They is our subject, want is our verb, but this is a dependent clause. This if is our subordinating conjunction because it makes the rest of the sentence or the rest of the clause rely on something, but we don't have that something. Now, the next part. Let's find the subject and the verb of each sentence. And we're going to change this to bold the verb of each sentence. She and her friends are at the fair is our sentence. Now, this subject is kind of confusing because she and her friends are grouped as one group. The girls or the people are at the fair is what we're talking about. But sometimes it kind of messes you up because you feel like that's two different things. However, that is our subject. Are, that's our verb. His friends or the boy runs every day. Now, his friends or the boy, again, it's kind of like she and her friends. They're grouped into one. Runs is our verb. The woman with all the dogs walks down my street. Woman is our simple subject, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. So, we know that woman is our subject. And what does she do? She walks. There is a question. There is our subject. That thing is our question. That's kind of what we're saying. And is, that's our verb. After graduation in 1923, she earned her PhD from Columbia University. Now, in this sentence, it's a little bit confusing because at the very beginning, we have a type of clause. It's a dependent clause because it starts with that after. Now, what we're really talking about is she, this person. So she's our subject. And what did she do? She earned her PhD from Columbia University. Jesse's mother baked cookies. So Jesse's mother is the one who's doing the action. The action is baking cookies. Because he was working in a dangerous place, Marvin put on his working boots. Now, because he was working in a dangerous place is a dependent clause. There's our because, there's our subordinating conjunction, and we also have our comma right there. So who are we really talking about in this sentence? Marvin. What did he do? He put on his working boots. The tiny brown acorn fell off the tall oak tree. Our subject? This acorn. What did it do? It fell. Those are our subject and our verbs.